Hello, welcome to another video. Today, let's talk about something that no one's talking about, and that is Ubisoft. Now, I know you're probably, if you're at this point watching my video about Ubisoft, you're probably sick and tired of hearing about Ubisoft, how Ubisoft is dying. I feel like it's just this hip thing these past couple days. I don't know if I'd say it's hip. It doesn't look good for Ubisoft. But everyone seems to just be shitting all over Ubisoft because they are not having a very good year. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be better in the short-term future, I'll say. I'm going to just say this. This is one of my first big time, I'd say, contrarian opinions. I don't think Ubisoft is dying yet. That's what I'm going to go with. I feel like I'm that one meme guy that's standing up in court saying the one thing that no one else is saying, but they're thinking, except for I don't think anyone else is. I think I'm in the minority even thinking this. When I say I don't think it's dying yet, that's kind of like, because the videos I've seen and the real popular ones make it seem as if it's like it's completely fucking over. You're never going to see more Assassin's Creeds, Far Cry's, what other games do they make? Any Ubisoft stuff, it's like it's fucking dead. See you later. And that's just fully not true to just say that, because worst case, I'll count this as them dying, is if they fully just sell everything, like full company sale, or even if they just sell off all of their IPs, because those are two very high outcomes to what's about to happen. Though I'm going to leave a caveat. If Ubisoft is sold and someone else buys them, keeps it Ubisoft, and it isn't named, and the buyer is not Sony and or Microsoft, I think they're still alive at that point, right? I think that's the only way I would consider them to be dead. Or if they simply just sell off all the IPs that they have to said companies or third-party companies, and they're just not making games anymore. Also highly likely. Nothing's going well for Ubisoft. Every video has talked about it, and it's very obvious. I don't have to go over it too much, but you've seen people talk about their stock price. It's bottomed out within the last 10 years, like modern time, I'd say that's fair. But I would argue that Ubisoft has been around for so long. People have memories with Ubisoft. I remember my first Ubisoft game that I can fully know what it was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Awesome. Instantly loved Assassin's Creed because of that game. The multiplayer in that game, one of the most underrated multiplayer games ever made. They should have just made that multiplayer for every single Assassin's Creed game. It could be a fucking esport in my opinion. But people have brought that up. Doesn't look good. The fact that they've been looking for a seller and basically been laughed at, not really legitimate offers, because all the numbers for revenue that they project are not great. And it's honestly fair to think 2024 seemed like it should have been a bigger year for Ubisoft. They do have big titles this year, and the new Assassin's Creed game that's coming out, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, was supposed to be coming out this year as well. So you'd have to, if all of their games were good, this would borderline be one of the greatest years of Ubisoft. They had a Prince of Persia kind of remake kind of thing, I think it is. I'm saying it's fine because I have no idea. I've never seen anything about it, never touched it, never played it as a kid. Couldn't care less. Yet Skull and Bones, that game was never going to be good. And Skull and Bones in itself, if it's actually did cost as much as they say it cost, because they said $200 million or something, that alone could be what borderline tanks Ubisoft, because that is an insane cost for a game that you would literally have no clue how it cost that much. It is not that where the fuck's the money? And then you have Rainbow Six Siege mobile game, who knows? I'm sure it actually probably made money because it's a mobile game and they all seem to make money. The other big one, they had X Defiant, was hot at the start, definitely kind of died down. I lost full interest. It seemed a little generic-y for me personally. It didn't seem like it had a lot of character behind it. And then you have the recent release that has not done well and caused the Assassin's Creed to be pushed back after being begged to be pushed back by its developers, and that is Star Wars Outlaws. This one fucking sucks because I do like Star Wars. I'm not a crazy Star Wars fan, but I like Star Wars. The game seemed like it had a good premise. It seemed like it was like an open world Star Wars game where you're not a Jedi, kind of like it could be really good, and it wasn't. I haven't played it. It's a fucking shame because I wanted to, and I was like, do I want to buy Star Wars Outlaws? I don't have unlimited time though. I have Black Myth Wukong, I have Space Marine 2, I have Final Fantasy 16 on PC, I have God of War Ragnarok on PC, I have now in October Silent Hill 2 Remake, Until Dawn Remake on PC, Dragon Ball Sparkling Z. Like, it's insane amount of games for a giant open world game. Probably going to take 30 hours if I had to guess off the top of my head to beat. And it didn't sound like it was going to be that good after seeing reviews and seeing gameplay. It does look very generic. It looks very kind of tiring and boring, which has just been the kind of bread and butter of Ubisoft games, is a lot of boring. It's just boring is what it seems like a lot of their open world games have turned into. While back in the day, it was like, holy shit, this is innovative. So, how bad Star Wars did, they came out, boom. Assassin's Creed Shadows, the Japanese one, has been pushed back 2025, February. It's coming out on Valentine's Day. Tough month again, because there's other big games coming out in February, so tough for them. But that's not really the big issue with the new Assassin's Creed. It's a lot of direction with the game, with the characters, with the environment, the historical presence of the game, because Assassin's Creed games have wanted to walk the line of like being more historically accurate than other games. They are not fully historically accurate. They never have been. But it seems like this is where they've, push too much in the other way, especially with such a traditional kind of... Like, there's a lot of history in Japanese history that you could pull from and stuff. And then you look at a game like Ghost of Tsushima that did a lot of it well. I have faith that Ghost of Yotei is going to do it well as also. It seems like they've pissed off a lot of people in that, which has also just pushed it super far into like the category. You also have series like Far Cry that hasn't done well. And I'm saying all this bad stuff, all this negative press, that you think, yeah, they're definitely going to die. And you know what? They very well could. They very well could sell the whole company to Microsoft because they just like buying everything. Or they could sell IPs like Assassin's Creed or X-Defiant or Far Cry to various different ones. The more I say this, the more I think, holy shit, they are actually fucked, aren't they? And it does not help that Assassin's Creed Shadows is like its only like big release next year. The other games that I'm seeing in like they're developing is Assassin's Creed Infinity. I have to hope they just fucking scrap that because it just, the idea behind that and everything had people questioning it from the start. You have Anno 117 Pax Romano. I don't know. It's a Greek mythology kind of Roman game. Maybe it's good. Lord knows. I don't have hype around this game personally. You have Assassin's Creed Codename J, which is a mobile game. I'm sure they'll make money off mobile games because everyone does. You have Tom Clancy's The Division Resurgence, which is a mobile game, believe it or not, so I'm sure they're going to make money off of that. Prince of Persia Remake. I think this is more like the old game remake kind of thing. Maybe the other game is just like its own reboot of the series. I don't know. I know people have good history with Prince of Persia, but I don't. You have Assassin's Creed Codename Hex, which is definitely not coming out this year, especially if the newest one got pushed back. There's no way this is. It could be good. Who knows? Splinter Cell Remake. Sure, that would be solid because there's a lot of people that love Splinter Cell games. But my full thought process of why I don't think they're dying out right now is I feel like if a video game developer was dying out, you wouldn't be hearing this much noise about them. I feel like it's more so when you don't hear about games the development team is working on, that the games that they release just don't make any noise. The thought of like bad publicity is good publicity. I think in this case, it's like keep their head above water publicity. I think it's an Assassin's Creed game, so I think it's going to sell well. Valhalla borderline it probably paid for like all the games they're fucking working on right now because it was such a success. Because like the time frame with COVID, it was a really cool theme with Vikings and stuff. And I think Assassin's Creed still gets that itch of it will get a casual gamer and get them to spend 40 hours in a game, and that's the only game they play. I think it still has that type of ability. I have friends who don't really play video games, but they have consoles and they'll have Valhalla. Think it's so good, super cool. I think they have that kind of namesake in their series that they still have enough pull that they're going to be able to survive a little bit. Could be wrong. And that makes me think that Shadows is going to end up selling fine. Is it going to do really well? Probably not. But I guess I honestly just think that Assassin's Creed Shadows has so much noise around it right now still that it's going to sell well enough that they're going to have some bit of time to try and course correct this. Do I think they're going to do that? Doesn't seem like it. Recent history seems like they're fucking over their heads, don't know what they're doing. I would argue management. If they do sell and everything, I feel like there's a lot of developers in Ubisoft that a lot of the other bigger companies would love to get just because Ubisoft has been around. They do make really big games. They make games that sell well. They know they know what they're doing rather than new upcoming stuff where they might stumble with a random game or something. You know? I don't know. It just seems like Ubisoft has been around. They're huge. They know what the fuck they're doing. They have really big IPs. If they somehow fuck this up, it's going to be wild. But you know what? We lost, THQ, I think it is. And they did make really great games in the 2000s, so anything's possible, realistically. But I don't know. I think it's being blown up a little too much. I think if they were really dying, you wouldn't hear a fucking word, and then you'd see a random news article that says Ubisoft ceases to exist or something. And maybe that does happen if they sell off all their IPs, but that's just my opinion. Be sure to leave a comment on what you think of the Ubisoft whole thing and the Assassin's Creed drama. There's more drama in that I didn't even fucking get into because it's its own story, realistically. But consider leaving a like if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.